I mean, it's been a desperate week for British politics and for Parliament. I mean, you and I have covered politics or been around for a long time. I'm struggling to think of a week quite like it. It started off with Angela Rayner and that story in the Mail on Sunday, cross-leg gate as it got called, and then the gates just kept coming over and over again. We heard Liam Byrne today, a former cabinet minister under Gordon Brown, who's been suspended from Parliament for 2 days for bullying. We've got Jamie Wallace, a Conservative MP, who's going to be in court next month in Cardiff over that car accident. And then probably the most extraordinary of them all, these allegations from a female Conservative minister and another female Conservative MP that a colleague, a Conservative MP, was caught watching pornography on their phone in the Commons chamber and at a select committee.
That one, Darren, is extraordinary. Now, I can exclusively reveal who it is. We are going to put the picture up on the screen right now of who's been caught so that you can all see. And for those of you here and listening on the radio, it's a picture of Jacob Rees-Mogg looking at his phone, and it's a woman dressed in full Edwardian robes. But more seriously, there's no doubt, is there, that the Sunday newspapers will reveal the identity of this person?
I don't think that is... You're right. I can't imagine this is going to stay quiet or secret for very long. I think the big thing, Nigel, is what does this say about our politics? You know, these are two political parties with various scandals. Weekend reports last weekend suggesting there are 56 MPs involved in some type of investigation into sexual misconduct. 56. That's right across the Commons. It's not just a Conservative problem, right across Commons. It's led the Attorney-General today to say, and I want to read this quote out to you because I think it's quite powerful. She said, there is, however, a very small minority of men who fall short, and there are some bad apples who are out of order, who behave like animals and are bringing Parliament into disrepute. And I think there are going to be very questions about the culture in Parliament, about the drinking culture, about the very fact that MPs employ their staff directly, and about the HR procedures. But there is no doubt, and it's not just the new intake or the old take, or the old guard, the dinosaurs. I mean, this is right across the board. And it will undermine trust in politics.
And it's here in Kent too, because, of course, we've had a Conservative Member of Parliament for Dover.
Indeed, who's in prison.
Charlie Elphing.
Yeah.
Gone to prison. We had Damien Green.
Involving pornography as well.
Who was effectively virtually a Deputy Prime Minister, wasn't he, under Theresa May?
Yeah, there is a very, very long list. And I fear, I think, because we have to remind ourselves there are an awful lot of good MPs out there who work very, very hard. And as the Attorney-General said today, you know, there are some bad apples. And we have to say, mainly men who are bringing politics into disrepute.
But you're quite right. Labour have got their scandals too. But it's parties in government who, and they've been in government now for a long time, they tend to lose elections rather than oppositions winning them. And I just wonder what the impact of this is going to be. Yeah,
I think it is, and it's really difficult to tell. And we've got these local elections, not necessarily here where we are in this part of the country, but elsewhere across England, Scotland and Wales. This time next week, and Northern Ireland, Assembly elections happening there as well, and we'll be covering that on GBNews. But it's always fascinating to know how much of the national narrative weighs on local elections. Clearly the Conservative Party would like in many ways this to be about local councils. They feel that they run them much better. Boris Johnson talked about Nottingham, he talked about Croydon, who've got involved in scandals and bankruptcy in recent years, and they talk about low council tax and that sort of stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the Conservatives will be judged largely on big national issues, not just Partygate, that of course gets people animated, but also the cost of living crisis, whether that's your petrol pumps, your heating bills, inflation going up, rises in the supermarket, but also this tax increase that has happened with the national insurance this month. A lot of people will have got paid today or tomorrow, and they will notice that there's a lot less money in their pocket. And in the end, we'll have to see how much that weighs down. Will this be a crucial local election for Boris Johnson? You bet it will be. Of course it will, because in the end, he is under political pressure. If he can prove that he's not a winner, a lot of Conservative MPs will be asking, well, what's the point of the Prime Minister?
And it all happens in a week's time.
But it's a test for Keir Starmer too, because Keir Starmer needs to do well in these elections if he's got any chance, any hope of winning the next general election.